Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Blake from the Popper, and welcome to the next edition of Game Reviews. As stated in the review thing that we did, it'll be a Pokemon game, and we are doing the newest DS game, Pokemon White 2, because I'm, that's the one I own, so I figured why not. I'm just gonna start from the very beginning because it's simpler. It kind of gets you into all the mechanics of the game, which is what I want to show off in the first place. But yeah, it's the sequels to Black and White, which are the Generation 5 games. Pokemon's been going on for quite a while. Just going to background of that. Pokemon's been going on for quite a while, since like the 1990s. I can't exactly remember when it started. Probably like 1998 or so is when it first started, around then. And it's gone all the way from the Game Boy to the DS, and now the next generation, Gen 6, is going to be exclusive to the 3DS. So it's been a constantly evolving game, but the concepts have remained the same. Because right now I'm just getting through the, pretty much customizing the game. You pick your character, either a male or female character, you name it, and then you name your rival. The only game you couldn't do that in was like the one of the first two games, and then the Black and White. But I named my rival Freddy Female. Shout out to Freddy being a female. So this kind of just gets you into understanding the game, because it's not like I haven't played forever, but it's for you people. Just gonna jump right into the game. A new thing in Generation 5, see right there, it's got seasons. The certain mechanics of gameplay can be affected by the seasons, such as a Pokemon known as Deerling and its evolution Sawsbuck. The form, just the form, the way it looks changes throughout the seasons, and certain other aspects of gameplay are changed, like certain things you can't access unless it's winter, or certain things you can't get unless it's summer. But that happened in the last game. I kind of want to focus on new things in Black and White 2. So you start out as a different character. It is 2 years after the events of Pokemon Black and White. So it's the same professor, but I don't think you meet the professor until way later in the game, which is kind of a different feel from the other games, because all the other games you live in the same town as the professor, and it's just like, bam, there you go. But in this game, it's the first game where you live, like, far away from the professor, and you're a completely different character than the character from the prequel game. Most of the games, you were the same exact character, just a different scenario. But this is actually 2 years in the future, and you're a completely different person. So, different parts of this game, besides all the redesigns and graphics and everything like that, there are also the region has been completely redesigned. This is the Unova region, the 5th region in Pokemon, the main series Pokemon. There's other side games, but if you're going on the main, this is the 5th main region right here. And there's Freddy Female and his sister. But yeah, they have new cities. This is Esperita City, which is one of the new cities. This is the new starting town. But yeah, there's also new characters that are introduced, as always. Some characters in the last game, your two rivals from the last game have taken on professions. Also, two of the gym leaders and the villainous team's leader have received redesigns. All the gyms received music redesigns, except for in Esperita City, because there was no Esperita City in the last game. Every trainer now has a fully animated sprite. That's a thing in the last game they introduced, or in Generation 4 they introduced, like, they kind of revamped on the moving sprites. Moving sprites have been in for a while, but they actually kind of went into advancing that, and now they finally moved that to the trainer sprites. So here is pretty much just a starting aspect of the game. finding the professor, or in this case, the professor's assistant, who happens to be your rival from the last game, and receiving your starter Pokemon. So, just gonna get right into that. I have no idea who someone named Blake is. So, I'm just gonna hop right into that. I kind of want to wait for something to happen in the video before we get into any sort of mechanics. But, here we go. The 3 different starter Pokemon you get to pick. I, however, know exactly who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick the Water-type Oshawott because, I'm biased towards Oshawott's awesomeness. Yeah, I'm a biased player, but, you know, whatever. Oshawott's coolest, don't deny it. I'm going to nickname my Oshawott Griffin. Shout out to Griffin, who's not here at the moment. So, different parts of this game. I'm still trying to get into the mechanics of the game, because it's kind of hard to start talking about things if you haven't even seen what's going on yet. But yeah, I kind of want to... Oh, yeah, the Pokedex has been redesigned in this game as well. Pokedex is kind of your encyclopedia of Pokemon. And this game, one of the problems people had with the last game was that it seemed so broken off from the other generations. Like, there was no extended evolutions of Pokemon, which is something people were like, what? There's not even any sort of resemblance from the last 4 generations of Pokemon? And in this game, they're starting to... I mean, they still haven't introduced any new Pokemon in this game, because it's the same generation. They only introduced new Pokemon between the generations. But they actually expanded the Pokedex and the wild Pokemon you encounter to be not just Unova region Pokemon. They've also got Pokemon from all the other 4 regions. So that was something that kind of pleased people. It kind of, you know, shows you that they take into account what the fans want. How, like, in the last game, you could only get a majority of Pokemon from the older games after you beat the game. So in this game, that's kind of a new thing. So I'm gonna, as tradition, first battle with your rival right after you receive your Pokemon. I'm gonna be battling Freddy. Freddy female. So let's get into battle mechanics. Battle menu been completely redesigned in this game, which is, you know, another one of those aesthetic things. Paid attention to the Pokemon games color. There's black and white. So in the white version, obviously the whole menu thing has been white, and in black, the whole menu coloration is black. So you see the Pokemon are constantly moving. That's one of the things they introduced in black and white, and transferred into black and white too, is that the Pokemon sprites are constantly moving. It kind of increases the game's, you know, it pushes the game more. It can have to build a bigger game, but, you know, it's another one of those aesthetic things, because everybody, no matter how much people love the, you know, gameplay part, aesthetic part is half the game. And Griffin grew to level 6. Hooray! And I defeated Freddy female for the first time ever. And I got $500 from him, so that's good. You still get money from trainers you beat. So, yes, this, whole game, you have completely, well, not completely different, but the storyline is not the same as the other games. Most games, their sequel to story, the basic story and flow of the story is just a small bit different, but in this, you can notice it more than in black and white. You know, Pokemon Centers right here, still the same. These are like these are pretty much one of the most important buildings throughout the game. This is where you can heal your Pokemon for free without using any of your healing items. It's also where you can purchase items. In Black and White, they decided to merge the Pokemart and the Pokemon Center into one, which is something that I appreciated a lot, because it kind of got annoying having to walk out of a building and into another building to just, you know, I want to buy a Pokeball. Well, can't do it here. Gotta walk out the door and walk into another building. It takes a full 30 seconds. I mean, I know. I sound like I'm whining a little bit, but I like to whine. So, yeah. Gym leaders, just like every other Pokemon game, all regions have 8 gym leaders, but this region has a little bit of a change with the gym leaders. The first 2 gym leaders have been taken out of the game. Actually, their whole area. You start in the west region of Unova, where you used to start in the eastern region of Unova. So, the first 2 gym leaders who are in the eastern region are completely out of the game. Later in the game, when you can actually go to their gyms, they will not challenge you. I'll just explain, hey, I'm not a gym leader anymore. Instead, you have Sharon, one of the new gym leaders from your, he was one of the rivals in Black and White. He's the first gym leader, and there's a second gym leader, Roxy, who their locations pretty much mirror almost the locations of the first 2 gyms in the last game. And also, the 7th gym leader has been removed in this game. The 8th gym leader from the last game moved to 7th in the order you challenge them in this game, and a new gym showed up in a new city in this game. And I just received the running shoes because walking everywhere is boring. I'd rather run. And later on, I get a bike, and I'd rather bike. So, yeah. There's also, town map. Yeah, gotta have a town map. One of the big things that people were excited about in this game, and I have to admit I was really excited about, is the addition of the Pokemon World Tournament. It's a completely new concept that they added in this game, not really taken from anything, but in place of an area that you could go to in Driftvale City, there is now a big tournament building that you can go into. And once you beat the game, you can go in and there's multiple levels of tournaments that you can participate in. First, you have to participate in the Unova Leaders tournament, which is, tournament with all the Unova gym leaders. After you beat that, then they unlock the gym leaders from all 4 other regions, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh, where you can pretty much just, get a chance to battle all the gym leaders, the, popular characters from the old games, which is something people were really excited about, like, hey, we get to actually, battle the old game characters, because in Generation 2, you could travel between Johto and Kanto, the first 2 regions. That was something that, people were like, oh, Gen 2, completely new generation, new region, I don't know what's going on, and then you can go back to the old region, and that was like whoa, I can go there. So, I was thinking, right now they're showing off how to capture a Pokemon, which is, pretty much the standard in the game. You have to know how to do this. Weaken Pokemon, throw a Pokeball at it, everyone knows how to do that, but why not? So yeah, the World Tournament ended up getting a lot of popularity, as that's like now one of the big things that everyone wants to participate in the game is, go to the World Tournament. That's like an extension to the game, is challenging the tournament. So that's gotten really exciting. Yeah. Storyline changes in the game. In the last game, there was Team Plasma. Every single generation has a villainous team. The famous Team Rocket from Pokemon Anime was the villainous team in Generations 1 and in Generation 2. In Generation 3, they introduced Team Aqua and Team Magma, which were version exclusive until Pokemon Emerald came out, when you could challenge both the teams. In Generation 4, it was Team Galactic, and now it's Team Plasma, which is, their goal is just to liberate Pokemon, because, I don't know, a lot of times I can't really follow what the villainous teams are doing. But, in the last game, you defeated them in End's Castle at the end of the game, but in this game, they're back under a new leader, and their goals have changed, because the leader's gone kinda a little crazy. Oh, there's the old champion right there in the game. I'm just gonna kind of freeze my monologue. You have a new champion in this game, but I'll get into that in a bit. So, yeah, Team Plasma has kind of broken in two. There is the old Team Plasma, which is run by, 2 of the old sages who broke off, and a bunch of the other grunts. And then there's the new Team Plasma run by Ghetsis, who is the old leader, and a new leader, Colress, who, I don't know, he's a guy, he's a scientist. But, they also have a new, base for Team Plasma, which is called the Plasma Frigate, which is a giant flying boat. So, you know, giant flying boats, that's awesome, why not? But, yeah, completely new thing. N, who was a big character in the last game, who is also a member of Team Plasma, also was, comes back at the very end of the game as, a helper to the player. Here, trainer battles. As in all the other Pokemon games, every time you walk in front of a trainer, or, well, 90% of the time, when you walk in front of a trainer on a route, not in a city, but in a route, they will battle you when they make eye contact with you. If you don't want to battle, don't make eye contact, but, you know, 80% of the time you can't avoid eye contact, so you're just gonna have to battle them, but battling is the key to the game. Battling, gaining experience, leveling up, getting better. You know, I didn't have Water Gun until I leveled up, so that's a thing. Yeah, there's, you know, tons of different trainer classes, and, you see, there's a ledge. I can't go to that ledge yet. I gotta wait until way later in the game, which I won't get to. But, I'm trying to think. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, what is it? The movie studio. In one of the new cities, there's also a new area, which is kind of a, extension. In the old games, they had Pokemon contests. Well, not the old games, but in Generation 3, they introduced Pokemon contests, which were, different from battles. They were kind of like, you could win ribbons by showing off Pokemon's moves for, either some certain stat, like coolness, beauty, smartness, but now they have the, Pokemon Musical, but they've kind of broken it off now. Now there's the, PokeStar Studios, which is kind of, sort of another, break off from the main storyline, where your character can actually interact and, like, be an actor, or, you know, whatever, and sort of gain popularity throughout the thing. And I believe you can actually get unique items throughout the story if you decide to pursue that. But I can't really honestly say, because I haven't really gotten into it too much. This game, every single game is sort of changed like this, but this game is sort of taking the cake, in my opinion. There is a ton of legendary Pokemon that you can catch in this game. In most games, of course, the mascot for the game you can catch, but it's a lot more complicated in this game. Actually, one of the earlier legendaries you can catch is a trio of Pokemon, Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion. They're I can't remember what the name of that trio is, but you can catch them quite early on in the game. And then, the mascot, either Black Kyurem or White Kyurem, depending on which game you got, actually cannot be captured when you first encounter it. Unlike most games, you cannot capture it. You have to beat the game, then go back, find N, capture his dragon, and then capture capture either White Kyurem or Black Kyurem. But it's a lot more complicated. Plus, there is also the Late Guardians from Generation 4, which you can capture. You can capture, if you have an event, you could capture, Meloetta, Genesect, and Victini. And there's just a lot. I haven't even caught them all yet. Gotta catch them all. Another thing I love about this game, which I pointed out earlier, was the addition of old generation Pokemon. Right here, Riolu is actually an older generation Pokemon. Well, Generation 4, but still, it's an older generation. And that is one of the cool Pokemon you can actually get early on in the game. I was super excited when I first found this Pokemon, because I was like, oh my gosh, Riolu is amazing. But I'm gonna catch it, because it looks awesome. You can even tell it's awesome just because of the way it looks, but it is awesome because of the way it battles. So that's a thing. There's a lot more things to go into, but they kind of tie into Black and White, and I'm kind of trying to review Black and White too. It's kind of hard to not talk about new things that were added in Black and White too, because that were added in Black and White, because that's Gen 5, and I kind of just want to talk about Gen 5, but whatever. Jeez. I'm like having a very difficult time doing that. Pokemon breeders, who are one of the types of Pokemon trainers, will battle you every single time that you pass them, which is a new thing that was added in this game. And so I'm just gonna have one more final battle with Freddy Female here, kind of showing off another battle, because why not? Oh yeah, another big thing in this game, real quick, we have 1 minute left, Join Avenue. It's something added between two different cities. It's sort of like you head into that area and the guy like walks up to you and talks to you, and then you pretty much have the chance to find people who walk into the avenue and invite them to join it. You build all sorts of different shops, and you can keep ranking that up through either for the 3 or 4 AIs that come in there per day, or the people you meet over Wi-Fi connection, which is a big thing in Pokemon since it came to the DS. But yeah, and you can rank up shops and get certain items that you can't get anywhere else in the game, or that you can't get multiple times, such as the raffle shops giving away a Master Ball as the grand prize, which is if you know Pokemon, is Pokeball that never fails. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end off the review right here. I know a lot of people complain about, oh, Gen 1 was the best Pokemon game, and oh, Generation 5 is just too stupid because some of Pokemon look stupid or whatever. But I mean, I'm a diehard. I'm gonna like every single Pokemon game they send out. I can't wait till the next ones. If you read anything I wrote on the paper, you know I honestly adore Pokemon games. So I'm honestly not gonna care. This game was great. And Freddy just walked in the room. Hey, Freddy. How's it going? Okay. So that was Freddy, people.
Hi, people.
Yeah, he said hi. So yeah, that was the game. I honestly, if I had to give it a rating, definitely 9 out of 10 stars, cause there's no such thing as a perfect game. As Mr. Hood says, there's no such thing as a perfect essay. Well, I said there's no such thing as a perfect game. Well, there might be later, but... So, I'm just gonna end off the review right here as I enter a wild battle with another Riolu. So, yeah. See you for the next game review. Bye.